Hello class, so we're going to do another lesson. This is our last lesson before you're officially on spring break. So, here again, like usual, copy down everything and then do this. Remember, make sure to use the FLT to fill in this blank. Take a guess. And I'm going to assume that you did that. And we're going to move on in 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so 中间, it means middle or intermediate point or something like that. So if you're saying like meet me in the middle of somewhere, you can say like this place and this place, 中间, the middle of like the two places. So yeah, that's what we use to describe that. So why might I have chosen the word that means middle? Well, you see mid. You might also notice mid what? Mid points. All right, that tells us some stuff. Midpoints. We're going to be using that somehow, somewhere in all of this. So let's move on. Let's see why we're doing that. Okay, for each of the following, first find the coordinates of both figures, then find the equation of the line of reflection. So find the coordinates, and then the equation, and then draw the line. So, we need a line. In order to get a line, if you have 1 point, well, you don't know where that line is. But if you have 2, then you can connect those two to make a line. Yes, we discussed that last semester. So now let's do this. Let's apply that here. So, first thing is, let's actually find the points for all of these. In order to even find midpoint, we need to do that. So this is -3, 3. This is 2, 3. This is 5, -1. Now, I'm going to suggest you take a few seconds, do this one yourself. I'm going to pause for like 3 seconds. You make sure to pause, do those. That's better for you. You're going to need to do that for the we do and the you do anyway. Alright, I'm moving on in now. Alright, so that's -5, -1. And now we have -2, that's probably supposed to be at -5. So let's make it there. So -1, -5. And then that should be also there then. So yeah. Sometimes it's hard to see like what you did on Photoshop. But yeah, it's supposed to be that. It doesn't make a huge difference once you get the points. When you get the points, then it's pretty easy. Alright, so that's 3, -5. Okay, so let's see what we got. Let's find midpoints. So how many do we need? At least 2. The reason is because, let's see. If we take like these two, the midpoint is somewhere in the middle. And if we have this and we find something in the middle, we have 2 points, connect that line. So let's remind ourselves, what's the midpoint formula? If you already know the midpoint formula, just skip ahead. So if we have x1, y1, x2, y2, the midpoint is going to be the average of each of those, the mean of each of those. So just add them, divide by 2. So add the x's, divide by 2. Add the y's, divide by 2. So let's find the midpoint of, so I'm going to put MD PT, midpoint of A and A prime. Okay, so let's see. Let's add those together. -3 and -5. And divide by 2. Comma, 3 plus -1. Divide by 2. So -3 plus -5 is -8. Divide that by 2. This is the same thing as saying 3 minus 1. So we get 2 divided by 2. And then, so we have -4, 1. And then you can choose any other point for the next one. It doesn't really matter if it's, like which one it is. So let's just choose, I don't know, let's just choose this one because why not? So, of C and C prime. 5 and 3 divided by 2. -1 plus -5 divide that by 2. We end up with 8 over 2. That's going to be -6 over 2. So we end up with 4, comma, -3. So the 2 points that we have are that. So now let's look at what the next thing we do is. We need to y equals mx plus b it. So in order to do that, let me expand this a little bit. If you need anything else in here, just pause the video, go back to that, copy it down before you move on to the next thing. Huh, that's interesting. Let's do this. So that should make the whole thing black. Great. And then to get the yellow back, let's do that. Cool. So y equals mx plus b. We're going to do that with those 2 points. So remember, y is your m is your slope. So remember, slope is going to be subtract the y's, then subtract the x's. So let's do 1 minus -3 divided by -4 minus 4. So that's going to be minus negative is positive. And we just have that. So we have 4 divided by -4 minus 4 is going to be -8. So we have -1/2. Okay, now we need that b value. How would you do that? Reminder, let's just plug one of these into there. Let's just choose the first point. Why not? So we're going to use -4, 1. Remember, that's x, that's y. So you have 1 equals m is -1/2, x is -4, plus b. Okay, so 1 equals -1/2 times -4. The negative times the negative is going to be a positive, so that we have half of 4, which is 2, plus b. Subtract 2 because we want to get b alone. We get -1 equals b. So that means we have y equals -1/2 x minus 1. Alright, so are we done yet? Let's look at our instructions. So we have to draw the line. So we're not quite done yet. We're almost there. So our line, I'm going to rewrite the line over here. Y equals -1/2 x minus 1. That means we start at -1. We go down by 1, right by 2. Down by 1, right by 2. And then just do that however many times you need. You probably just need to do it like 2 times, and then I'm sure you have a ruler and you can just do that there. It's just a bit easier for me using Photoshop to do it this way, so that I have a few more data points there to make the line more accurate. And then that is your line of reflection. Pause if you need to. I'm moving on to the next one so that this does not become ridiculously long. I keep saying that I don't want it to become super long, but the reality of recording these and doing the explanation does make it kind of longer. If you need to, you can use the playback speed, and you can like make this ×2 speed or something if you think you can get it quickly. If you need it slow, keep it slow. Don't speed up unless you are confident that you can do it. All right. I want you guys to find these points. And so I suggest pause the video, get those points. It's a good exercise. And I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so I'm not going to find them necessarily in ABC order. Let's see, -5, -1. This is -2, 0. Then this one is -3, 3. Alright, here we have 5, -1. Here we have 1, 2, 3, -5. And here we have, see, that's 2, negative. I feel like that's supposed to be over here at -2. Yeah, that's supposed to be at -2. Sorry about that. If any of these are not whole numbers, just round them to the next highest or lowest one that looks available. Because I'm making a whole bunch of these every single day. So I might make some small mistakes. So sorry about that. But we make mistakes in life. All we do is move on and not complain. All right. So let's find these midpoints. So we need 2 midpoints. Let's choose 2 of them. Let's choose this one and this one just because the points, like, you probably already had them correct. All right, so for the first midpoint, let's find the midpoint of A and A prime. So we have -3 plus 5 divided by 2. We have 3 plus -1 over 2. This is the same thing as saying 5 minus 3, so that's 2. This is the same thing as saying 3 minus 1, so that's also 2. And we end up with 1, 1. Okay, that's interesting. That might make things a little bit easier. All right, midpoint of C to C prime. All right, we have -5 plus 3 divided by 2. Then we have -1 plus -5 divided by 2. So this is the same thing as saying 3 minus 5. So that's -2 over 2. This is -6. We did that in the previous one. Over 2. So what we get is -1 comma -3. All right. So we do have 2 points that are going to be on that line. -1, -3. And 1, 1. So you can probably draw the line pretty easily there. But we also want to get the equation of it. So y equals mx plus b. M, let's find that. So we're going to use this and this. Y values, we have 1 minus -3. Then we have 1 minus -1. Let's see. That's 1 plus 3. That's 1 plus 1. 4 over 2 equals 2. So our slope is 2. So y equals 2x plus b. So let's use the point 1, 1 just because it's positive. So 1 equals 2 times 1 plus b. So that means 1 equals 2 plus b. So that means minus 2. B equals -1 again in this case. So y equals 2x minus 1. Now let's graph that. So we're going to start at -1 and 1, 2, and then over by 1 So that matches. Down 2 over by 1, that also matches. Great. So if we just keep going like that, by that ratio, then we will get the points that we need. That is our line of reflection. All right, next one. We do section. So here I have 2 of them. All right, scroll too far. So I'm going to give us 5 minutes, do that. Then I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so find the coordinates. Let's see, so we got 3, 1. We have 4, -2. Then we have -1, -3. I hope I didn't make mistakes on this one. One, 3, and -2, 4. Great. So I'm going to do between AA prime, just because why not? So 4 minus 2 over 2, and we have -2 plus 4 over 2. Let's just write that as 4 minus 2 also. Alright. Now let's do B and B. Why not? Equals, okay. 1 plus 3 over 2. 3 plus 1 over 2. We end up with 4 over 2. 4 over 2. Okay. Interesting. We have 1, 1, and 2, 2. So, there's 2 ways we can do this. You can notice that x and y are equal. If we do the other one, I'm pretty sure we're also going to get x and y being equal. So, y and x are being equal. This is actually a line. This is actually the answer here. Because if we also notice a and a prime, -2, 4, 4, -2, 1, 3, 3, 1. -3, -1, -1, -3. So x and y are switched. If you remember actually from the previous lesson, if you have x and y switching, then the line of reflection is actually this. So with that, we can actually just directly graph this, because we actually know that that's what it is. So there's our line of reflection. And notice that this thing flips over that pretty perfectly. So you could have noticed that and did the line of reflection that way, or you could have done it like we have been doing. So I just want to show you that that's a thing. All right, let's try this one. I don't believe this one is as easy as that one or as straightforward as that one. So let's look at that. Okay, so let's find these points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So, oh yeah, again, time, 5 minutes. I'll give you some processing time. I will assume that you pause this, and I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. So we have 4, 7. 3, -1. 2, 6. All right. Let's see, that's 6 comma, what is it, 3? Then we have 4, 2. And then we have negative 1, 7. Alright, let's find some midpoints now. So let's choose, I don't know, C and C prime. You can choose any of them, really. It literally does not matter, as long as you're matching them. Alright, 2 and 4. 6 and 2. So remember, those are going to be the x's, those are the y's. 6 over 2, 8 over 2, so we have 3, 4. I'm going to make that look better. Okay. Midpoint of, I don't know, AA prime. So the x's, 4 and 6, 7 and 3. So let's see, we have 10 over 2, and oh, we also have 10 over 2, so we get 5, 5. Okay, and just really quick thing. Okay, cool. Just wanted to check one real quick little detail. Okay, now let's find y equals mx plus b, the equation of the line. Okay, so let's choose, it doesn't really matter which one as our first one, so remember y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2, 5 minus 4 over 5 minus 3. Let's just do it that way, 1 over 2. Okay, so slope of a half, great. So y equals 1/2 x plus b. We can choose any of them to put into here. It does not really matter which one. Let's just choose the 5 one because why not? Okay, so we have 5 equals, alright, so that's going to be 5 over 2 plus b. If you would like to, you can do 2.5. Or you can just practice fractions because you're going to need that literally every single class in the future. So I'm going to do it the fraction way. You can do it the decimal way, but I highly suggest this way. So we're going to subtract 5 over 2, and it equals b. So 5 over 2. We're going to need times 2 times 2. So 10 over 2 minus 5 over 2 equals b. Then we have 10 minus 5 over 2 equals b, which tells us that b is 10 minus 5 is 5 over 2, or 2.5. So y equals 1/2 x plus 5 over 2, or 0.5x plus 2.5. This is the preferred one because it tells you a lot more. 5.2, that means we start at over here. That's where 5.2 is. Slope of 1/2 means we go up 1 over by 2. Up 1 over by 2. Up 1 over by 2. So we can go down 1 and over by 2 as well. Alright. We go do that. And let's see, does this look like the thing gets reflected over that? Yeah, just about. Great, so we have done that. So pause if you need to. And here is your you do section. So this you're going to be doing on your own. I will not be helping you on this one. I want to evaluate to see, can you do this or not? Obviously, you can ask for help in office hours, or you can ask for help by email, Remind, anything. People have been asking in office hours and Remind a lot. Not as much email. Actually, no one by email. Everyone's been asking through Remind and office hours so far. So office hours 1 to 2 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday. All right, have a good day, everybody.